Hi, I'm Mitch Gallagher and this is Sweetwater's iOS update. This time out, I've got an app that's a comprehensive toolbox for guitar players. Let's get started. If you're a guitar player, wouldn't it be great to have one single app that you could load up that would allow you to practice songs at different tempos, would allow you to record songs with up to 8 tracks, would allow you to create loops that had modeled amplifiers, modeled effects, a tuner, a metronome, everything that you need for practicing and performing and recording all in a single app? That's exactly what JamUp is. There actually are two versions of JamUp. First of all, there's the free version, JamUp, and then there's JamUp XT, which adds some additional presets and some additional capabilities. The version I've got loaded here is the JamUp Pro version. The JamUp version looks exactly the same. To begin with, one of the main capabilities of this app is to provide you with great sounding guitar amp and effects models. Now the free version comes with 4 presets that are loaded up with amps and different effects. When you move up to the Pro version, you get 14 presets and a lot of different amplifiers and effects that you can choose from. Now you can use the presets as they are, just load them up, and the different sounds will be available to you there. And you can also create your own sounds. It's very easy to do so, and the user interface is actually very cool. To create your own sounds, you use the section of the screen that's at the top here. You have a signal flow that goes from left to right. On the left, we have effects that are in front of the amplifier is in the middle, and then we also have post effects that come after the amplifier. So if we switch over here to the amp effects screen, with our amplifier selected, we see the front panel for the amplifier with all the controls there. If we double click on that, it shows us the amps that we have available to us, so we can choose a different amplifier, load up the different ones we want. When we're ready, switch back over to our signal chain there. Now it works the same way with effects. If we click on the tube reverb we've got here, we see the front panel for it. If we double click, we have the option of loading in different effects, and it'll swap right over for us. Now the cool thing is that we can change the order of the signal path by simply dragging things around. So if we'd rather have the filter in front of the amp, we just pull it over here. It's positioned exactly where we want it. To turn that on, select it, click the button, and it becomes active in our signal path. This is really cool for experimenting with different tonal options because you can check out all the effects with different amplifier settings in front of the amp. After the amplifier, you can do a lot of exploring here and creating the tones that you want. Once you've created a tone and a signal path that you like, you can save it as a preset. There are 16 different preset slots. 4 different banks are available here, the factory banks, and then 3 user banks. Now this works great on stage. In fact, you can interface this with an air turn pedal so that you can select presets on the fly using a foot pedal on stage. For learning songs, JamUp has a great feature, and that's the Jam screen. Now we use the Load Song button. That will load any song that you want out of your iTunes library. Once you have the song loaded up, the speed knob controls how fast the song is playing back, so you can slow it down to get the faster parts without changing the pitch, so you don't have to retune your guitar. Now a lot of times when you load a song up, the original recording is slightly out of tune with where your guitar is. You can use the pitch control to adjust for that. And then of course you also have a volume control. In addition to that, we have another cool feature, and that's that you can loop a section of the song if you'd like to. So for example, if you've got a solo and you want to slow that down, you don't want to work through the whole rest of the song, you just want to focus on the solo, you select the in and the out point for the loop. It'll play that section over and over again, and you can focus just on that part of the song. Across the top of the screen is where we set up the metronome. Click on that. We can tap a tempo in, or you can enter a tempo directly. You turn that on and off. You can have either a click or you could have a drum beat if you like. You can have 2/4 time, 3/4 time, or 4/4 time. So all those options are available to you. There's also a built-in tuner, so you don't have to have an external one if you want to make sure that your guitar is in tune. For recording your own music, we have 2 options in JamUp. First of all, we have the sampler. Now the sampler is a looper. You can set a loop of whatever length that you like, record a bass track, you can do that along with the metronome, then you can overdub additional parts on top of that to create a looped arrangement. Now once you've done that, you can save your arrangement off. You can export that as well, so you could bring it into another app if you like. Now if you want to do something that goes beyond looping, there's also an 8-track recorder option. When you purchase JamUp or JamUp Pro, it comes with a 2-track recorder, but for $4.99 you can add an additional 6 tracks of that, so you get a full 8-track recorder built into the app. Now the 8-track recorder works like any other 8-track recorder you might work with. We've got a pan control, a volume control, mute and solo for each track. There's a record enable for each track. So you simply lay down what you want to play, then you can go back and overdub into the other tracks as well. Now in each track, You can also clear out what you've recorded there. You can paste audio in. You can also import songs from your iTunes library and use those as a basis for an 8-track production. When you've finished working with your song, you can export those as well. You can email it to yourself, or you can save it off to iTunes. Jamup also has an online community where you can upload presets that you've created, or you can download presets from other users and load them into your version of Jamup and use those in your own music. Finally, there's a Jamup Store where you can purchase new amplifiers, new effects, and bundles of those. So if you click on the shopping cart there, we've got our amp models. You can scroll through those. There are a lot of different amps available. Tons and tons of different effects that you can purchase and add into Jamup, or you can buy bundles which have collections of amps and effects in them. Thanks for joining me for Sweetwater's iOS update. Here are a few more Jamup presets for you to check out. I'm Mitch Gallagher.